Holding on some bands, got a whole lot of that. If my brother do the case, we gon' bounce right back. Holding on the top, I got an SK. Put that money on me, I ain't worried about a thing. My young bad bitch, that's real nasty. The type to fuck your homies, but she classy. The type to suck your dick without asking. I like a bitch to pull up.
C Malo, man. C Malo's a local artist, local dance artist from out here, you know. But the name originates from my first and my last name, so it's Caleb Kumalo. But overall entertainer, man. Repping the 206 hard, you know, bringing Seattle together, for real. So when I started gigging, actually, I just gone out with my friends, man, and there was like this party going on, and there was all these females there, and I noticed that all the guys that were getting the females actually knew how to dance. So, you know, I was like, man, I'm just tired of just being a wallflower, and that's how I just grew into gigging. So gig is honestly, when it comes to Seattle gigs and gigs, it's different because gigs is just the movement of dancing, but Seattle gigs is different. Seattle gigs originated from actually dancing on a female first. Like we first was worried about dancing on a female and being creative, and that's where gigs really came from. And then after that, it just became a thing where you don't have to have a female, and it was just more of like just a movement like that. Like it's kind of more of a smooth style. So. And how we went viral, man. But no, for real. So this is how this is how I actually went viral on the internet. Like, cause people already been knowing me because I went to parties and stuff like that and was going crazy. But I posted a video on Facebook, right? It was just me and my homie. We talked about it. So we talked about dancing on a female in a mall. It's like, hey, if you dance on a female in the mall, it's gonna go crazy. And everyone from Seattle already knows about like gigs. So, but knowing that I actually did something to where you went to a public place and broke a female off. So when I put that video out, like within the first week, it had like 600,000 views. So it went like dumb. And then if you go on Facebook right now, like it's still up. If you look at my name, it has like almost 2 million. So that was my first time going viral. And then as far as Instagram, when I went viral, that was because we had actually done a song to Blueface's. It was Tatiana when it first came out. Me and my guy and some other people, we rounded up. We actually did the video, and a lot of people didn't really mess with the gigs like that. That was in my group. There's only a couple people, so they're like, nah, let's not do it. But sooner than later, like we posted on YouTube, first month 10,000 views, but then after 3 months, it hit basically 100,000 views. And a lot of people knew about Seattle gigs from like all over the world from that. So, GIB. So it stands for Get It In Boy. So it was actually, so this is a big thing. Before I went viral on Instagram, people knew me from parties like I was saying before. But I had a clique called GIB, GIIB. There was another group out there called like LOTP Life of the Party. They're like one of the most known dance groups out here. And they did a lot of party dancing. But they'd had their group out, and they were showing out. And I was like, man, what if I start my own shit? Because at the point when I started it, that's when people like knew me for dancing and stuff like that. So I was like, let me just create my own clique. And first it was like 4 people. But eventually we had 40 people, 40 dancers from out here that were all part of the movement. And it was a strong movement. So I think with the Seattle club scene, part of it is not just like the promoters and then bringing people out, because in every state you gotta have that. You gotta have a promoter that's gonna bring a big name out to kind of help generate revenue, whatever the case may be. It's more of the artists that are actually performing. They need to have more, per se, performance when they actually go on stage. So I feel like not just rapping, but you're in a club scene, bro. So you got to be doing some shit that's going to make the girls shake their ass and everything, because that's going to make it more lit. If the girls are happy, then the club's going to make even more money, and they're going to tell people to come next week, next month. So that's the main thing. You got to play stuff. You got to be smart and play music that's gonna apply to the club scene, you know, and then see where it goes from there. History of gigs. Okay, so when I actually came to starting to do gigs, I wasn't the first one to actually start doing the gig stuff. But one of the guys that I grew up with dancing, my guy, shout out to my guy Damon Gigs. His actual nickname is Gigs, Mister He Got the Gigs. You know, so he was actually part of a different dance group back then, and then me and him were so close that he had actually joined my group, and he's still probably one of the best dancers out here, you know, as far as the gigs. So I learned a lot from him, and I just was like one of the only ones to just really keep it going. And like I said, there was other groups out there called LOTP, and there were some other groups that were actually doing the gigs as well. And before the club scene, I believe Team iPod. So if anyone knows about Team iPod, they were kind of really the first ones to put any type of gigs on YouTube. So shout out to them. Shout out to my boy Dre. He's doing big things. Party God Dre. But they were the ones that really kind of started that movement. And then I hopped on like years later and just learned really fast and grew. So I'm a very high energy person. So when I first started dancing, I was learning how to break a female, dance on a female. You know what I'm saying? So when I would do moves, it was just high energy. It was high energy slaps. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of more of like smooth movements, but at the same time, I was doing stuff that kind of would make, you know, the crowd go crazy. So it was a lot of just like a lot of big arms movement and everything. Um, but there's some people that are kind of more smooth with this, so you know they do like a little dun, 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 dun. I wasn't like that. I was like, hey, you know, I was like more high energy. But also, I think it was just, you know, kind of just doing stuff on a regular day basis. Like when you do gigs, you have to be creative. So, you know, I used to microwave a lot of stuff. So, you know, one move that I used to do is act like I was putting something in the microwave, right? So I'd have the plate, have the food, put it in there, you know, close the microwave, you know, check the time, and then pull the microwave out and then pull out the plate, start eating it. But that would be part of one of my signature moves, you know, because it was just stuff I would do on a daily basis. So that's kind of where I learned my moves. And with the amount of time that I actually do, like, dance, like I dance almost like every other day, I do always try to find new moves that are high energy, you know? So, like, the thing with me is, and I know, like, when questions are asked to me like this, it's like, I feel like there's one answer, but there's more than one answer, and I feel like it kind of has everything to do with Seattle just coming together. I think I want to make an impact to dancing and music, you know, because dancing is one of the four pillars of hip hop. You know, you got dancing, you got music, you got DJing, and then you also got graffitis. And I feel like with Seattle, dancing is they need to make more of a link to the local music because I know of some dancers out here, but I feel like they don't be dancing to music from out here. And I think that's a big problem if you're trying to bring the Seattle hip hop culture together. You got to support each other, you know. And I think my thing is to bring gigs to a whole nother level to where it's respected not only in this state but also in other states. And me performing at the Key Arena doing gigs, you know, to all those people that maybe not don't even know gigs in Seattle, I think that'd be a big thing. So I think putting gigs on a higher platform, you know, is my goal. It comes to a point where you know um, your talent needs to take you somewhere, you know. So I think obviously being able to provide for my family, being able to take care of what I need to take care of financially in my life, being able to travel is like really a big thing. But I want to travel the world and show people that you know you ain't got to be in the streets doing all this shit, whatever you're doing. You know, I know you got to do what you got to do when you first start, but if you have a talent and it stays you out of trouble, then do that. And I feel like dancing, if I go to other countries, if I go to other states, and if I can impact them by that, um, I think it's gonna help bring the world together as well. Because if I can dance and make money, and you can dance and make money. But I think also to build on that is learning how to be an entrepreneur with dancing, not just with other types of business, but with dancing. Um, because I think what I've done on social media and what I've seen other people do on social media with dancing, I think I've elevated my stuff to a point to where it's not just about how many followers I have, but it's about my work ethic, you know. Um, but definitely that and doing all of that in a West Coast style. Because again, I'm trying to bring the West Coast back, man. Man, y'all are wasting money. Y'all are wasting time, bro. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, there's so many beautiful females that be going out and some of them actually do like to dance, but you're going over there trying to flex what you got, spending hundreds of dollars on a girl, for one night. You might even go home with her, bro. And the crazy thing is, like, girls like me because I dance and that's it. They don't care about the designer stuff. So, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're going to go to a party, dance. If you're going to go to a get together, then that's different. But you're at a party, you're at a club, dance. And I'm going to make sure also that I make an impact on the music to where you're going to want to dance. But don't just sit there, pay your $20 and sit there and look like a bum. So, shout out to my dude, Lil Biggie, man. I feel like he's from Baltimore, but he stays out here now. Like, shout out to my guy. He's really been putting in work, putting in pain to the West Coast music, West Coast style. Everything he puts out is a banger. I highly co-sign him. Like, I think to me, he's like the main person. Also, shout out to K God. He's newer, but he's been grinding as well, putting out that real good, feel good, girl shake your ass music, you know. So also the West Coast vibes. So shout out to those two. Those are the main people. I could say I like Music Soul Child, and some people are like, what Music Soul Child? He does like soul R&B, but I feel like as a human, right? There's going to be high points in our life and low points in our life, and I feel like when I listen to his music, it's R&B, but he gets me through those moments. Also, shout out to I Am Sue because I know I Am Sue does a lot of like high energy music too, but he also does some chill stuff. He does stuff for the ladies. He can sing. It's a lot of West Coast vibes, with him. So I like him. Shout out to Sage the Gemini as well. Now, for the real hip hop heads, shout out to my girl Rhapsody. Rhapsody is one of the best female rappers, period, out here. Shout out to Black Thought. Shout out to Elzai. Um, Shout out to Fab, even though he really doesn't do a lot of good music no more. Honestly, sorry Fab, but his first couple like mixtapes and like CDs and stuff, I was really fucking with. Um, yeah, I mean those are just top my. Oh, Wale too. I know Wale be in and out, but Wale is really dope. And I'll say if you really want to listen to some feel good music, Rick Ross. Rick Ross is like one of the best beat makers. Not beat makers, but he's one of the best at picking beats for his song. You know what I'm saying? So I would say if you don't know anyone else, just listen to some Rick Ross. Just hit play, and you'll be good. Maybe a lot of y'all don't know me, or maybe a lot of y'all do know me, but I'm not here to dance just to dance. Like, when I say I'm trying to bring the 206 back, I'm trying to bring the West Coast back, I'm trying to work with y'all. Like, y'all do music and everything, y'all hit me up. I'll do a dance video for you guys because I want to bring the correct exposure to the West Coast sound and put a little twist on it. Not only that, you can rap and that, you got actual skill, but like, someone can appreciate it in the form of art, which is dancing. So I just want to let it be known that I'm on y'all sides. Like depending on where my career goes, up or just a little bit, like I'm just trying to bring that togetherness, So, but shout out to my guy Remix, the hottest nigga out here, hottest dance, one of the hottest dancers. Mm-hmm. I also feel like I'm one of the best dancers too because, you know, like if you see my videos, I don't only just do gigs. Like, you know, I do hit them folks.
We do everything.
Do choreography, you know, and I'm just trying to bring this culture together. So, you know, work with me and I'm going to work with you, you know, and we're going to the top. 206, baby.
That's all it is.
I need a bitch throwing pussy like Pinky. Niggas crying over a bitch, get your bank. Trap all on my back, smelling stinky. Cook all in my wood, got me chinky. Bitch, you know the name, I don't need an introduction. Bitch lost her mind if she thinking I'm cuffing. I don't do the stunting, little bitch. I ain't fronting, I ain't faking no funk, so you know I ain't bluffing. Break a nigga bitch like I'm salty to pee. Bitch, you better meet the standard if you talking to me. Sweating on a bitch, have her bleeding her feet. Hold that back page gone, so it's time to hit the street. Niggas in my line talking about he want his bitch back. You can have a hoe, nigga. I just need 10 racks.